Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stormgrounds Invitational here on Hitbox. My name is Nature, and we are live with the second semi-finals. It is Team Alternate versus Team Fnatic. The winner of this series, which is a best of 3, I believe, will go on to face Bob in the finals. But before that happens, let's start with these games. First up banned here in the draft by Team Alternate is Leoric. And Fnatic now looking at their ban, which is going to be Kerrigan. My phone went off. I'm terribly sorry. Which is Kerrigan, and after that, Alternate are going to take their first pick. We're going to play on Tomb of the Spider Queen, which is obviously one of these smaller maps. Which means that there's a little bit more room for roaming compositions, and that they're not as confined to their lanes, if you will, as normal. Although in general, we do tend to see some roaming compositions here and there, even on the large maps. Of course, Uther picked up here for Team Alternate. Fnatic picking up Zeratul. An assassin is always nice. We do tend to see a Muradin as well on Fnatic because they heavily favor that champion. So I'm guessing that we're at least going to see a Muradin this game. Fnatic might not pick it up this pick round, but at least both of these teams have shown that they like to play Muradin and that they might play him in the future. Kael'thas picked up there for Fnatic, so double damage there for Fnatic, which is nice on Tomb of the Spider Queen, because you can obviously kill your opponents off. That is nice on all of the maps. But so far they have gone for that double tank build, double warrior composition every game, I believe. So it's somewhat surprising to me that they pick up Kael'thas and Zeratul in the same rotation, but maybe they have some more warriors in store later on. So do you see Jaina and Johanna picked up now for Team Alternate? Nothing too surprising right there, fairly standard stuff. Jaina, of course, with the damage, Johanna with the condemn, the crowd control, the tankiness, everything you would expect from a warrior. And right now, Fnatic's turn to ban alongside Kerrigan. Who will it be? Obviously, there's they did ban out Tyrande earlier, I believe, and then also they banned out Zeratul, but they've picked Zeratul up, so they won't be able to ban him out. Tyrande is still an option to ban out. Might not be very likely, as they will indeed ban out the Asmodon. Don't want to deal with the long range of him in the case of the Tomb of the Spider Queen, so that's good as they ban him out. Asmodon and Johanna, of course, work really well together to make sure that Asmodon lands his Fire Blast. And then Muradin banned out here by Team Alternate, so Fnatic will not be able to pick him up. And that means that there might not be a lot here for Fnatic to fall back on. Obviously, they'll probably have something prepared here for as a contingency plan, but I have a feeling that they were preparing on picking up Muradin, as he, up until this point, has been picked pretty much every game. Anubarak is, or every game, I'd say, not pretty much every game, but literally every game. Anubarak picked up here for Fnatic. That is something they worked with earlier, of course, but that was with the Muradin. So let's see what they pick alongside the Anubarak this time, because they cannot run what they ran earlier, and they might have some trouble deciding what they are going to run instead. Another assassin would be overkill, I believe, so another warrior would make sense. Specialist, always nice as well, obviously. So we're going to find out what they're going to run in a couple of seconds. It's going to be the Tyrael, another warrior, which has been banned quite often as well here in this series and the past ones. So Tyrael does make sense. does have the gap closer to catch on towards anyone who could be strangling away. And then also, obviously, Tyria and Anubarak have some really strong engage. On top of Zeratul, they're going pretty ham with this composition. So it could be troublesome for Team Alternate if they don't have the peel or if they don't have the damage to deal with Fnatic. Both of these teams clawed their way through some pretty easy matches, some pretty quick matches rather, 2-0 in both of them. And now they're going to face against each other, and the winner will play for that $1,000 prize pool. Thrall actually picked up here for Alternate. Going to see some new faces here. Arthas as well. Did see him earlier, of course. And now Fnatic with their last pick. Let's see what it is going to be. Lowell, by the way, I should inform you of this. Lowell has actually rejoined Fnatic, so they will not be playing with their sub, but they'll indeed be playing with their full roster, which is very nice to have, as we do see the last pick here. The support, obviously, is going to be Rhaegar. That should be enough for Fnatic to take down Team Alternate, but the other way around, Team Alternate do have a strong composition on their hands as well. So we are going to find out in just a couple of minutes once we load on to the Nexus. We'll find out. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stormgrounds Invitational September edition. We are on to the Tomb of the Spider Queen, taking a look at these composition and teams. It is Fnatic on the blue side, Lowell playing Tyrael, Breeze playing Anubarak, Wilby playing Zeratul, Kessel playing Kel'Thas, and Main playing Rhaegar. On the red side, it is Darkmock playing Thrall, Nurok playing Arthas, Crosby playing Jaina, Gerdemerd playing Uther, and then Blumby playing Johanna, sorry. So, getting that out of the way, it's time to go ahead and take a little bit of a look at these teams. As I said, there is a lot of engaged potential on the Fnatic team. So that is something we should definitely keep in mind. And that is something, also they have a lot of roaming potential as well. So that is something we might see come to an, come to an effect in this game. But for now, we're going to have to hold on here and see how this one plays out. Mena and, of course, Wobby walking around. Darkmock could be in a slight bit of trouble if Wobby decides to go in. The Thrall probably okay. We'll find out. Oh, here goes Wobby. Oh, it might not be okay. Darkmock will make it out alive. Does get knocked up by Breeze's burrow charge, of course, and the impale. So it did cost him quite a lot of health, and Breeze will be happy in this part of the map because he's got it all alone for himself, and there's really no contention. He'll turn in those gems, and Crosby is going to find out Wobby. Wobby will be forced to blink out, but he'll be fine. And Crosby will get healed up by Gerdemerd. I have trouble seeing how one decides on getting such a name. But okay, I'll try to deal with it. Main and Wobby now hanging around this egg. Wobby does see this happening. Breeze is going to cancel out the turn in here, but he will be forced to use the burrow charge to get out. And now Wobby going to see this channeling happening as well. Is he going to interrupt it? That is, of course, the question. Gerdemerd was forced to stop the turn in. He didn't want to risk his life. And, of course, all of those gems that he had with him. Now, Blumby actually roaming down here. Lau does get a turn in. And, well, you will go back and get that shield and make it out alive. Really a little bit of a alone this game. Not too much happening at this moment. Wobby is roaming. He did get spotted out, so they know he's there. They miss the Holy Radiance, and now Wobby does get spotted out once again. Needs to blink out. Almost got caught by the Howling Blast, but makes it out, and he'll live another day. Now roaming up towards the top side, Lowell and Crosby are there, so I don't think they're really good at actually reading where Wobby goes and sending someone rather to go there and help him out. There's actually a Gravity Lapse on towards Nurok. Will be forced to blink out. He really doesn't have good openings to fight, and you have to actually commend Alternate for that, because they're doing a pretty good job of that. Right now, Wobby taking some damage. Darkmock turning this one around as they jumped him just a second earlier. Wobby needs to be careful, and he will be the first blood in this game. Zeratul going down there, and the first kill for Alternate. Good start for them. Breeze doesn't get spotted out in the smoke. They are going to turn in. Does get stopped by the Impale, and Breeze well, gets a little bit of a stop. Doesn't get too much out of it, except from winning some time, perhaps. They are actually now turning in those gems, and that will be enough to get those web weavers for themselves. And immediately the red team, which is of course Alternate, starts pushing here, and they are going for these towers. Here come the web weavers. This could be troublesome for Fnatic. They had such a dominating performance last game. Can they repeat it? It doesn't look like that way if Alternates continue what they're doing at the moment. Moving on towards that fort, the web weaver actually focusing on those walls. But right now, Lowell in trouble. Can he follow through on the Eldarin's might? Doesn't seem like it. He gets rooted and he goes down. Tyrael in trouble there. Will will get the Archangel's Wrath off, but it really wasn't enough in the end, and they will get these 2 towers. Alternate showing some dominance here in the early stages of the game. And that means they'll probably even be able to pick up this fort. No answer whatsoever. Meanwhile, on the mid side of the map, Darkmaw could be in trouble. Makes it through the gate, though. And he survives. And as answer, Alternate pick up a fort. So, somewhat of a bad situation here for Fnatic, as they're forced to dance to the rhythm of Alternate's game. Song, whatever you want, but it's really not looking too good if they continue playing like this, or if Alternate continue playing this good. We'll be finding out. Nurok right there. Don't think Nurok saw Wobby. And Main now in trouble. There's the gravity lapse to try and save him, but he is a dead man and he goes down. Blue team, that is of course Fnatic, lose one more member, and this is dire once more for them. They turned in 36 gems, so they're pretty close to completing the turn-in, but it's really not ideal. Right now, heroics are available for Alternate. Sundering, Tindergosa, Water Elemental, Divine Shield, and Blessed Shield. So, oh, actually, a Nubarak going down as well, and they're looking for more. Wobby makes it through the gate. He does have 25 gems, so that could complete the turn-in. But they're 1 level behind, almost 2 actually, and they don't want to fight once the enemy team has heroics. So it's looking pretty bad for this stage. And once again, Alternate get themselves those Web Weavers. Oof. I would not want to be Fnatic at this moment. Alternate are relentlessly pushing, and it doesn't seem like there's any end to this one. Fnatic pick themselves up. Oh, actually, hold that thought for a second. Nurok could be going in here. There's the Howling Grassman towards Breeze. And from the backside, here's Johanna gets a condemn down. Breeze will not be able to make it through the gate. Darkmox shattering, or actually sundering and splitting the team up. They get themselves Breeze and get themselves a fort. Holy moly, this is disaster. So as I was saying, Fnatic, they've built themselves a very strong engage composition. Ooh, but here comes Cindergosa. Actually, hold that thought for a second once more. They just disable the fort so they can move further. There's the Phoenix. Breeze goes in on towards Crosby. From the backside, Lowell picks up Crosby, and Bloomy could be in trouble now as well. The Void Prison in the backside did separate the team, and now Bloomy is trying to make a run for it. Mean is trying to catch up. Nurok also running for his life. He'll drop 10 gems. But the red Web Weavers are still in effect here. But as I was saying, just right before Fnatic displayed some prowess with their engage composition, because they had a beautiful engage right there. Fnatic built themselves an engage composition, but one of the things you do not want to have happen with that engaged composition is that you do not want to fall behind, because if you're behind, you cannot fight. And when you build an entire composition around fighting, you may have lost the game just by falling behind a little bit, or just by not wanting to fight. Obviously, it has not come to that, as Fnatic have managed to show that they can still fight at this point, and they want to fight, so it should be good for them. They should be okay to continue playing here. And they are not just out of it yet. But it does highlight some of the dangers that the composition of Fnatic poses in this case. So we need to be... they need to be careful about their composition building and how they manage that. Wobby has been spotted out. Does use the blink. Darkmock gets a hold of him. Wobby takes so much damage to condemn. The Sundering goes down. Only a Void Prison there on towards the Uther, as he does use the heroic on towards a Thrall, and now we could have ourselves another casualty. Kessel goes down. Breeze might be the third, the one that goes down, and he will be, as they get themselves a third kill here on towards the Anubarak. Get themselves a tower as well. Web Weavers actually spawned here for the blue team, first of this game. But it might not be enough to save their tournament life. Obviously, this is the first game. It is a best of 3. Anything can happen in the coming games. But if this is anything to go by when it comes to the next games, this could be a very quick series. Let's just not assume that this is anything to go by when it comes to the next games in this series. Immediately, here comes the turn in. Blumby might get interrupted by Lowell. But it doesn't quite get interrupted. Lowell is just a little bit too slow. Wubby gets caught out by Blumby, or Blumby gets caught out by Wubby. Depends on how you want to look at it. There's really not a lot of fighting around. Both of them not wanting to fight at this point. Not a lot of backup, so they decide against it. And the other team has reached level 10 a while ago, so taking a look at their talents: Judgment, Locust Swarm, Void Prison, as we saw, Phoenix of course, and Ancestral Healing. What else? Lowell's turning in at the moment. Blumby has spotted this one out, uses the shield glare at the last possible moment to cancel Lowell's turn in, and they will not be able to get those 26 gems on Lowell and 44 on main. This, they've got so many gems, but they really can't turn them in. But I know they of course do tend to wait until they have the required amount on one member, so they can wait until there's a save moment. But with Fnatic's composition, when they should be going for a lot of fighting, you could argue that they want to turn in as much as possible. Darkmok picking up those siege mercs in the bottom side. And they are 3 levels ahead. Alternate that is at the moment. Darkmok making his out alive. Obviously, Wubby has picked up the wormhole on top of his blink, so it is he can jump in and jump out as he pleases. Just one more gem. Oh, and there you go. Red Web Weavers will come down here, which means Alternate have got themselves a power play on their hands, and they get a hold of the one with the 47 scratch that gems, and they kill him off in a matter of seconds, and they lose 47 gems, and they might lose even more. With Rhaegar out of the equation, no Ancestral Healing in this game for 18 seconds, and the Web Weavers in play, this could be the very first game going over to Alternate. This very first fort could be going down pretty soon. Kessel taking a lot of damage, as they are now looking for that second fort, and they will be able to take that down. Kessel being forced to roam up towards that top side as quickly as possible to try and defend the fort. It's not looking too good here for Fnatic, but it really hasn't been looking too good for them the entire game, except for the one small part where they managed to catch out Alternate. Here is the very last fort from Fnatic that might fall here, but actually they might go in once again. Here's the Void Prison, there's more, and Impale goes down. They get Thrall. Can they get more? The Phoenix goes down as well. New Rock falling so low. There's the Invulnerable on Bloomby, but they get him nonetheless. That's 2 kills so far. Gurmaderd might fall as well. Sorry for butchering your name. Impale doesn't quite catch him. Oh, but the gravity lapse there on towards Crosby. He goes in towards Stasis, but it's not enough. The Flame Bomb, the Firebomb, sorry, will catch him out. And there's a 4th kill for Fnatic. They managed to turn it around, and straight they go for the boss. The Living Bomb, sorry, I'm terribly sorry. They go straight for the boss. And that one will be theirs. Is this what Fnatic needs to get back in towards this game? Syndragosa will go down. And Nurok is going to try and contest this one as good as he can. But there really is not a lot for him to do at this point. And they're going to try and kill him off as well. Oh, Wobby might get caught by the boss. Oh no, he'll make it out alive. Nurok still alive. There's a Sundering. Wobby will pick up the boss for his team. But this could be a turnaround for Alternate once again. What a match. They pick up 2 more kills. And then they need to deal with this boss. So it does seem like Fnatic do have a little bit of time on their hands because Alternate need to deal with this boss. But what a turnaround, and a turnaround on top of that again. Meanwhile, minions are on the core for Alternate. Not too troublesome though. This boss will get dealt with as well. It is going to take down the fort in just before it died, so not without merit. The boss certainly wasn't without merit, as they're going to go and take down those mercs as well. And they are going to move through that mid lane and actually split up a bit, soak some more experience. They're almost level 20, and they're going to turn in for a bit here. Oh, it is that was some hectic fighting going on right there. And really, Fnatic and Alternate going head to head. And then you can question the boss call. In the end, they almost lost it. If they would have lost the boss, they would have most certainly lost the game. But Wobby was so low, stayed around, could have gone down, Sundering splitting everyone up there. It was a pretty close fight in the end, but it paid off for Fnatic as they got themselves some time, and now they might have used that time to regain their strength, as they're only 1 level behind at this point. A little bit more than that, but they're only 1 level behind in a sense, and practically 1 level behind is what I'm trying to say. And at this point, they can go in again, and if I were Alternate, I'd be afraid of Fnatic's engage potential. There's an impale towards Gerdemerd. Will be trying to turn in 22 gems, and he'll be able to do so. But meanwhile, those minions are on the core. They won't be able to do anything. Meanwhile, in that bottom side, Void Prison goes down. There's Syndragosa. They're all inside of the Phoenix. Blomby falling very low. They got Thrall. So that is perhaps what they were looking for. Oh, but they might get hold of Lowell here. Will be going in, going out. Wormhole paying dividends once again. And they got themselves more time. If they continue stalling like this and they continue getting better fights, I really do see Fnatic actually turning this game on its head and winning it in the end. As right now, Breeze and Lowell... Oh, actually... Ooh, Zeratul gets deleted. No wormhole for him this time around. But there are some web weavers. So once again, does seem like they extend this game. But they might not if Breeze gets caught. Phoenix will get caught out there. And that will slow them down. Web weavers descending in the end. And, well, Alternate being forced to deal with that, they'll actually make quick work of these web weavers. They might actually start pushing here, because Throw has respawned. And, well, nah, they're just going to play it safe and make sure the web weavers are dead before they start attacking once again. But the team fighting prowess of Fnatic is really shown here. And if Alternate, if they... continue underestimating the team fight of Fnatic, or if Fnatic get to that backside as quickly as they can, or as they have done in the past, they're really going to wreck Alternate at this point. So I'd say these teams are at this point really going head to head. Everyone going to try and turn in as quickly as possible. Lumbi with 18 gems is going to try and turn in as well, and it seems like he'll be able to do so. This could be the last push, as there's only 1 fort remaining here for Fnatic. So Alternate looking for the final push. But they don't quite have the web weavers. They only have 6 gems spread among their team, so they need 8 more. So that is 2 more in total. 1 more, there you go. They should have it at this point, but they need to be careful about it and not get interrupted. Bruiser camp will get picked up by them as well. And there you go. The web weavers, the bruiser camp, the entire team. Is that going to be enough? This is all or nothing for Fnatic. They need to fight this, because otherwise alternate is going to roll over their base. You cannot stall once you have nothing left beside your fort. All lanes are going to be pushing, that mid lane especially, and the top lane of course with all of the heroes in there. They're going to take down the last fort, they're going to take down the last tower. Fnatic, even though they fought very well, they could still... obviously they could still lose this one, but they could still be losing this one right now. There's Syndragosa, they get a root on towards Breeze. Breeze tries to get out of there, Lowell jumps in, and there's a good Void Prison, gets a hold of 2 at one of their own team. So it might not be enough. Actually, there's a stasis on towards Jaina, uses the Storm Bolt to get out. Is it enough though? Crosby needs to make a run for it. Low is so deep, goes in on towards Crosby. But it might not be enough. Crosby gets healed up. There's the gravity lapse. Ancestral healing on towards Lau. He stays alive, and they manage to hold off alternate. Oh, actually, they might not be able to hold off alternate, because here they go again, looking for some core damage. There's no more shield on the core. Going to try and rush it. Darkmark trying to do what he can. 60%, 50%. Blomby is so little health. 20%, 10%. Nurok is at half health, and there you go. 0%. Alternate take game 1 in this best of 3 series, and that means they're 1 game away from qualification for the finals. That was a really intense game, and I hope we're going to get such a game in the next one. We'll see you then.